All right, so look, we're back. As you know, we've all been out here battling this whole COVID-19 crisis. I want to hit the club. I want to travel. I want to cuddle with my thing that's on a flight on his way here right now to LA. But we are here. Damage and I are here. Blue is not here because she's not feeling well, so we send her our love. But Damage, look, I've been in the house as many of us have because now the state of California is on lockdown. There's nowhere to go. You can't even eat outside. The numbers keep going up. ICU beds are full. The governor in California is saying that he doesn't believe that people should go outside, but yet he's been at a party with no mask. The president is evicted now. It's formal that he's being evicted. And so, Damage, how are you spending your life? Because, bro, I can't handle this anymore.
Man, it feels like the end of times right now, but I'm feeling good. It's unfortunate that the COVID rates are going up and up and up, and they're shutting all the cities down. Even the cities that were open a little bit, they started to shut those down. All the cities but Atlanta. Atlanta's still on fire. So I guess we're going to have to visit the A, Jason.
No, I'm not visiting no A. I ain't visiting no DC. I ain't visiting Philly. No disrespect to Philly. I just, at this point, believe that Atlanteans think that COVID does not exist in Atlanta. I think they think it exists in Miami, California, New York. But Atlanta, what is happening? I mean, you ain't at the strip club?
Well, they said the COVID rates are down in Atlanta. So whatever they're doing it the right way. Like, no one's getting it. I don't know if they're not testing as many people, but from what I'm hearing, the COVID rates are down in Atlanta. Last I heard.
People are getting booked and flew out to Atlanta. I saw my girl, shout out to Sky. Sky, I love you. But Sky is on a world tour right now, hosting clubs and getting her money. She is sipping her Ciroc. She has no mask on. And I'm like, girl, now you can't come to my house for 14 days when you get back to California, because at this point, I believe that they have sprayed more coronas in the air for people to become super spreaders. And I am terrified. Even the person here fixing shit in my house, he coughed yesterday. I was like, nah, nigga, nah, I'm terrified.
So for New Year's, are you going to Atlanta or are you just saying no? Like, that sounds like a vibe. New Year's, ATL, everybody, the whole country is going to be in that one town. You going?
I'm not going to Atlanta if Tyler Perry told me that I could put him in the Medea dress and make a 10% fee for showing up at Bojangles. No, hell no. I'm not. But what I will tell you is I am here today to be vulnerable and share with our audience something that I am struggling with because I believe in full transparency. I have developed an addiction during COVID and I am embarrassed by it. And I am sad to even have to talk about it tonight because I'm a pretty cool, responsible guy who's been fighting addictions all his life. But I am now addicted to Clubhouse.
You do better, Jason. Do better. So it gets you, the notification, it'd be 3 a.m, like ping, and you feel like you got to go in and listen. I get it. That Clubhouse is addictive.
I turned off my notifications and I'm still addicted. And let me tell you how bad it is, okay? I did gagging with Jason Lee for like 2 hours and 45 minutes. The 45 minutes was of my gag nation fighting with one another over who knew me before I knew me. That was a mess in itself. But after I got out of there, it was about 9:45. I said, I'm going to go lay down. I'm really tired. I haven't had a nap. Bro, I was on Clubhouse from 9:45 to 4:35 in the morning.
Doing what?
Talking.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we went from sexuality, of course, to opportunity and branding. I hopped in the room with the game and was talking to him. Then I slid over and talked to Sway Lee. I mean, I was on there talking to everybody. And I will tell you that Clubhouse, if you are on this app, you will ruin your life if you do not put guardrails around how you participate. And I think this almost goes with all social media, but it also gave me an epiphany on my addiction to porn, that I have no self-control when it comes to indulging in porn. So I think the web and the internet and just social media in general it's just not a healthy playground. Now, at least not for me. I have no self-control.
Now, I feel you. I mean, you get sucked into a live conversation on Playhouse, and there's all types of cool people and influencers, and everybody got their bios up there.
It ain't Playhouse, it's Clubhouse, and that's the problem. We've been turned the Clubhouse into a Playhouse.
No, I've been seeing some wild. That's why I stopped going on for a little while, because it's a lot of wild rooms in there talking about like where the hoes at, and it started to feel like Black Planet back in the day. So I'm kind of taking a break right now. But I can see how you could be addicted. I had to take a break.
Damage. I'm gonna reveal something to the audience. I have not taken a bath today. I have not combed my
Because of Clubhouse?
I I am exhausted. I went to bed at 4:35. You know when you get off of Clubhouse at 4:35, you still got to roll over, toss and turn, find the cool spots in your bed, make sure the lights are off, turn your phones on silent. So there's still preparation. So 4:45, I'm probably asleep. And I had to get up for work today because my team comes over. Today is a late day, so they start at 9:30. But that means we start at 9:30. So I got to get up, make my cream of wheat. So by the time I get up at 9 o'clock, hit downstairs, check my clubhouse to make sure I didn't miss anything. That crack was itching when I woke up. And then to go start my day, bro, I was tired. I'm still tired now. And I didn't make it to the gym today.
Mm. The messed up thing about Clubhouse is we're talking about it and everybody can't be on it. You got to be invited. So for all the people that's watching this, if you haven't been invited to Clubhouse yet, feel okay because you can be addicted and then you're listening to it to 4 a.m. and you're looking a little tired for work like Jason.
People are. Will you say I look tired? I didn't think I looked tired.
You said you feel tired. I'm just co-signing what you said.
I said I felt tired. I didn't say I looked tired. I think with
No,
that,
you look great, Jason. No, I didn't mean that. You look
you
look
know, I
like you got all the rest.
I do got some good lighting over here. If this lighting ain't making me look good enough, add them by another motherfucking light, put on top of this camera, that shit right here. But no, I mean, I'm tired. I have house shoes on. Let me give you some shoe cam. I have Uggs on. I refuse to even put on shoes this morning, but I will say, Clubhouse is cool. Do not go there. People are on crack selling their invitations for
Everything.
$1,000, bro. And I know this is free promo. I know, but I'm just saying, I'm only telling you this as a way of helping all of you out because as exciting as it is, do not go on that app if you do not have self-control. I have had to have my team today. I said, look, I need an intervention. I need you to take the pipe out of my hand. I need to have a clubhouse strategy. And I think we should have boundaries with everything. So, social media is addicting. And even with Instagram, I changed my settings where you can't DM me anymore because I was getting too many DMs. And I'm talking to somebody now. I think I may have found somebody that I like a lot. Well, I know I found somebody that I like a lot, but I think I found somebody that I'm really going to spend a lot of time with. And so I just want to make sure I have no distractions from social media as well.
Now, how do you feel about the people recording the conversation on Clubhouse? Because I've seen a couple I don't call them interviews, couple discussions that happen on Clubhouse. I see them posted later on Twitter, and then social media get a hand of it and start sending it everywhere. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because I started a whole room that said, do you think recording conversations on Clubhouse is a problem? I'm telling you, I am in
He's
the
starting all the forums.
listen, as soon as I see some crackheads pop up with some crack, I'm on it with the solution. But anyhow, I started a conversation. We had hundreds and hundreds of people that came in that room. I think we had about 1,200 people that came in that room. And Tiffany Haddish popped in and we had a conversation about it. And basically what I said is you will never beat the internet. The internet will always win. Anything that you do in public, it should not be expected to be private. And that if you say something on social media, you can't take it back. And you don't even have to worry about me lurking in the room because I'm not there to find the tea because y'all are stupid enough to put the tea out anyway. This was a conversation that came out of, for people that don't know, academics. He's a guy who does what I do. And Meek Mill got into it in a room that 21 Savage started. And Meek Mill basically threatened him. And a lot of people in there were discrediting him and saying that, he fuels a lot of rap beefs that end up allegedly getting people murdered or hurt. And so they had a lot to say about that. There were over 5,000 people in this room having this conversation. There were people on the stage having this conversation. But with 5,500 people in the room, you don't know who's listening. And it ain't even me or Angie or anybody else that does what we do. It's just the people in the audience are recording and sending it. I think that celebrities just have to let go of the idea that we're going to maintain their privacies. When you're a public figure and you put it out for public consumption, it is what the fuck it is.
Do you feel like y'all get blamed a lot, like for things that happen like that? Well, clearly, there's just somebody that's listening, recording, screen recording, because it's very easy. But do you feel like they try to put the blame on you or other platforms because of that?
Always, because the problem with these people is that I figured out how to make their business a business. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
was saying, I did an interview yesterday with Adam 22 over at No Jumper. Shout out to him and his team. And what I said to them, and what you'll hear me say in the interview, is that all these rappers will be irrelevant before I will. I will be at the top of the mountain when all their careers fade, because I talk about what's current in the times. Their music changes and isn't current. Their clothes change and isn't current. Their guts and their butts change and are not current. I will always be relevant, and their business will always be news, from whether they have a kid to when they die. Hollywood Unlocked will always be relevant. And so, yeah, I think we always get blamed because everybody needs a scapegoat. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
Mhm.
I guess I'm that scapegoat. So it's all good though.
You've been doing this a while. I'm curious. What do you think is the average career lifespan is for an artist now, right? Like, how long do you think they go before they're not relevant anymore?
Are we talking about Tinashe or are we talking about Beyonce?
I'm talking about it. Leave Tinashe alone, man.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to I'm sure I'm only using that as a spec. Okay, are we talking about Lil Boosie Badass or are we talking about Jay-Z?
Well, Boosie going on 40 years in the game. Let's talk about somebody like Danny Lay, like a Danny Lay or the Baby.
I don't
How
know.
long? Like, what's?
No, I know I do like Danny Lay. I do like Danny Lay, but look it,
I'm just saying. What do you think is the average lifespan now is for artists?
we don't talk about Danny Lay unless she's booed up with the baby, little baby, with the baby. It's so many babies
Yeah,
in the game. We do not talk about Danny Lay unless she's with the baby. And wait, is that what she with? Yeah.
yeah, the Baby. You right.
We don't talk about her. We don't talk about her music. We talk about her when she pushes her mom in the pool. We talk about her when she's booed up with her baby. No pun intended. You know what I mean? So like, how long is her musical career gonna be on?
No, I'm just saying. Period. Just now that you've been doing this for a while, you report on people's lives. How long do you think the average lifespan of an artist is today? And I just brought up Danny Lay as an example.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I use all the artists, right? That when you say artists, there's a wide spectrum of artists. You got Jay-Z and Kanye. You know Kanye, no matter how much you don't like him or his politics, he can't be canceled. The culture's gonna always buy into his shit because he does put out good music and he does put out good clothing, except for those holy ass shoes that I don't have a pair of. But I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a question for the consumers. If you're listening to the show, we'd love to hear you. Just comment in the chat room. I mean, in the comments, or let us know on Twitter what you think. I personally think that the artists nowadays are whack in comparison to the legends that I'm used to and the people that we idolize today, like a Beyonce or a Rihanna, who are both icons in their own making in music. But in terms of rap, I mean, I really don't know if there is a rapper or rap group that will be here 10 years from now. You
What
know,
about 5 years from now? You think they make it even to 5 years these days?
not if they don't cut their testicles, all these fucking babies they're having with all these women. I mean, Future's like on baby, what, 16 at this point?
He can afford it.
Well, we don't know his finances. He's not touring. Most artists that have 360 deals make their money off of touring and club appearances, and they ain't making money. It's been a whole year. If you are not sitting on multi-millions or billions of dollars, like your money has been burning up. You got staff, cars, maintenance, home,
Mhm.
just child support. You ain't got no money. So I don't really
I,
know.
yeah, I feel for the artist. Future definitely got the bread though. He's one of those artists that passed that threshold that's getting multi-million-dollar deals. But I feel for everybody that's in entertainment right now because, like you said, outside entertainment is shut down, and that's how a lot of people make their money. It's a hurt piece.
I'm not into counting other niggas' money. I don't know what they got. I know one thing. I sure am looking at you on Instagram though, and if y'all start wearing the same shoes every day or the same clothes, you can't have a wash machine. I can. If you're wearing the same shit, money's probably tight. But look, I'm gonna tell you who is not going to have a good year this year. And it's this man that died. He died somewhere was it in Trinidad? Okay, this man died in Trinidad. Now, let me set this up. A deceased man was recently banned from attending his own funeral after his family brought him into church sitting upright in a chair versus in a casket. Now, this guy was 29 years old, and he was killed in Trinidad and Tobago alongside his dad inside their house. And so after the passing, his body was embalmed, and then he was sitting in a sitting position and placed on a chair. Now, let me show you what it looked like real quick. This is a photo, just so you know we didn't make it up. That man sitting there with the salmon, not salmon for you niggas in the South,
Salmon.
in that salmon jacket and then white pants with them glasses. By the way, he looks like R. Kelly from where I'm sitting. It's so far away. No disrespect to the dead. I don't want to piss nobody off. He was sitting up at his own funeral and now people are mad. What do you think? I
I
personally
don't get it.
think.
I don't think I've seen this before. So I've seen on social media. I think this happened with Shorty Love, where they'll take the casket and they'll ride it around town and take them through the strip clubs and everything. So I've seen something like this before. Never have I seen somebody dead and embalmed be placed to sit down at their own funeral. I just don't get the logic of it. Now, if you want to give them a last little turn up party, I've seen people in that situation, they have strippers come on and dance with the dead body. I've seen some weird stuff, but to have him sit at his own funeral is what I'm not understanding what the takeaway is. Maybe I need to talk to the family. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be sitting dead at my own funeral.
And I'll tell you, just to be keep it 100, like I have an issue with death in general. I have an issue with funerals. I can barely even go to a funeral, let alone go to a funeral, and I'm sitting next to the dead nigga who is suited and booted and look like. Put the picture back up. Now, listen, I don't know why they had him sitting up looking like he was on his way to his cousin's cookout, but I will tell you this. I know we love our family members. I don't have anybody that I love that much that I want to embalm them and sit them next to me at their own funeral. I think it's pretty sick. And I'll also go on and say that I don't know if this is a cultural thing. Now, I'm not
Mm.
shaming anybody in the islands. If you're in the islands, please educate us in the comments because I don't know if this is a cultural thing, but or if it was like, even if it was something left in his will. I don't believe in honoring everything in somebody's real will. My mother died. She wanted to be her ashes. She wanted to be cremated. She wanted her ashes thrown in the ocean. What did we do? We burnt her ashes. We cremated her. We burned her ashes, and then we drove to this really dope place to pour her ashes. But guess what happened? The wind blew, and it blew some of
Mm.
the ashes back. And the idea of your mother's ashes covering it, like, no, no, that in itself was hard. But the fact that you're sitting there, you're embalmed, blood might come out your nose, or
That don't work like that. You know, it don't work like that.
excuse me, I have seen. Well, my grandmother, she didn't get embalmed. Maybe that's why blood came out her nose. She didn't want to be embalmed. In my family, they went ahead with that sick shit. My Italian grandmother, it was some crazy white people
Mm.
shit. But I will say that if your family member says that their wishes are to come to their own funeral dressed up with their leg cocked up and sunglasses on while sitting next to people or in front of people, bro, you just got to say okay, and then when they die, don't do it.
But maybe we got it all wrong. Maybe at funerals, maybe like let's think about it. When we go to a funeral, we go and we see the dead body and it's laying down in a casket. Maybe if it was sitting upright, it would be more of a less blow for some people. I don't know. Maybe it might be something to that. If you go to a funeral and you walking down the aisle and the person that's deceased is sitting there in front of you, looking relaxed, fly like my man was, maybe you have a different vibe at the funeral. I'm just saying, we gotta look at different angles here.
I will have a different vibe. Bye, niggas. I'm out. Bye. My vibe is in the car. I'm out. Nah, I'm not. I'm not with it. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna tell you what else I'm not with. I've been in the process of considering whether or not I would have a kid. You know, I know that I
Mhm.
would be a great father. I'm very patient. Um, everybody in the studio smiling, and you're laughing. Bullshit. But either way, I'm growing more patience for the idea of having a kid or a dog or a partner, something that lives and breathes in my house. And then this story happened. There was a 6-year-old boy who he charged his mother's credit card for with $16,000 worth of video
Damn.
games. Now, this is why I had to slow down in my idea of having a kid. You have a kid, damage. This 6-year-old boy was in trouble after he charged his mother's credit card with $16,000 and a couple more change worth of video games from the App Store. And I guess this woman is a real estate broker and she's been at home and not really working due to the pandemic. So she realized in the month of July that her son had bought a bunch of add-ons to his phone,
Mm.
to the phone and these boosters for his favorite video game, Sonic Forces. So some of the boosters are like $1.99 or 99 or 99.99. And so in one day, this kid, his badass spent damage over $2,500 in new charges to his mother's phone.
You know what? This happened to me for $50. This my son does this every once in a while, every few months.
But you gonna notice $50. How does unemployed broker sitting at home broke don't notice that he didn't ran it up $16,293 and 10 motherfucking cents.
That's what I'm saying. I blame the parent because I don't know what kind of credit card she have. My credit card app starts sending you a notification when you start spending too much. So you're gonna know. You're gonna know. And why would you even leave your credit card hooked up to a video game that your little son is on? You know, like, so he has the option to keep every time he loses, because he's probably, what, 4 years old. He probably sucks at the game. He keeps reloading and buying stuff. I don't get why she did that.
And if you're laying up in the bed with a man, ladies, I know you have to have your Apple Pay connected to your email so that way you get alerts. This nigga could be buying Plan B for all the tricks he done hit off at Magic City since Atlanta and closed. You should be looking at how your phone is charging things. Now I'm gonna tell you who owes me about $2,500, and that's Tidal. I accidentally subscribed to that to get a song one time, and a year later I was spending $25 a month, and I didn't even
Damn.
didn't want to use it and didn't even know how to take it off of my phone. But in this case, I will say, I don't know about you, but if you were my kid, you would have got your ass whooped. And now apparently she went to Chase to try to get this off. And the Chase Bank confirmed with Apple that they were her charges. And so now she's stuck with the bill.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
be stuck. You're gonna be stuck. It came from your household, came from your child. You're gonna be stuck with that. You're gonna eat that.
oh no, I'm gonna talk about eating. That kid would be eating cheese and water. He'd be going to school with borrowed shoes from Payless and wearing clothes that his sister used to wear. He motherfucker be dressed up like a whole transgender at school. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if I'm not gonna get my money back, everything I was gonna invest in you, your college fund, your prom, your funeral, everything I invested in your future, bitch, is gonna go back to Sonic the Hedgehog, or whatever. But anyway, listen, parents, y'all got to do a better job. And you know what? Maybe now that I think about it, maybe it's her dumbass fault. How you
It's
didn't
her
know?
fault.
But this is the problem. Parents are letting their kids and damage. I'm sorry if I'm saying something that strikes you odd, because I don't know if this is you, one of those parents. Some of y'all are busy parents. Y'all be letting these video games babysit your kids, and
That's
then when they
true.
run it up, you know what I mean? So, you think she shares some of the responsibility?
Now she got to share some of the responsibility. One, because you left the credit card on there, so he charged something once and you was okay with it. So once he seen that you were okay with one, he charged up more. But you said she was working from home, Jason, and I already know it's me working from home in the studio that we got built right here. My son could be in the other room doing whatever, when you're trying to get some work done. And that's usually what they do. They're glued into the game or YouTube and they start spending money. My son spent $50 on me like that one time. Had to give him a little pow pow, but he learned his lesson after that. $16,000. I don't know what's going to happen to my son if he spends $16,000.
Well, speaking of glue, let me tell you who almost got some glue in her hair. This woman, her name is Kendra Sutherland. She almost got some cum in her hair because she was allegedly air sucking off the CEO of Instagram. Now, I love Instagram and I love playing with Instagram, no pun intended, and using Instagram. But a porn star, y'all be letting these porn stars on here. One girl, she didn't try to ruin Lil Baby's life. This porn stars are out of Porn Stars Gone Wild is a new show that somebody needs to produce. These porn stars are ruining the culture. Because now Kendra trying to fuck up Instagram. She's a porn star who's known for filming a masturbation scene at Oregon State's University Library. And she has had her 2.2 million follower account removed from Instagram. Now, I'm going to tell you, we have 2.4 million. I have lost my account at 1.2 million. Y'all know how we went through them 3 or 4 months with no Instagram account. Y'all think I'm on crack from Clubhouse. I was having withdrawals from not being able to be on Instagram. And so she had her account that has 2.2 million followers removed after joking about sucking off the CEO, Adam Mosseri, who is married with 3 boys, sucking his penis. And Adam has been like a really dope advocate for the culture. He's created a lot of inclusive programs over at Instagram, like the Buy Black and Share Black Stories. He's a part of the whole Facebook network where they've created a Black Creators Program that we're a part of here at Hollywood Unlocked. So they're doing a lot of good things. And I know one thing that will get your Instagram taken away if you do anything sexual. And I think if you have 2.2 million followers and you're getting gangbanged out in a library in Oregon State, you probably shouldn't say that you're sucking off the CEO. Those of you that think I'm bullshitting again, or I'm just trying to say this just to have fun, you take a look at the video your motherfucking self.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm not deleted yet. I'm batshit crazy. I might be sucking off the CEO of Instagram, but whatever it is, I'm here to stay. Ah!
So, do you think the girl should have been deleted from Instagram? Because I don't know. I'm torn.
Let me tell you something. Adam didn't do this. Adam's wife did this. You said he got 3 kids and he's married. This is the first time you've seen the CEO's wife step in and really handle business. That's who deleted that account. And I'm wondering, how are porn stars being affected by this COVID pandemic? Because it seems like they're going real crazy right now on Instagram, like trying to get their clout up. And I thought, if anything, the sex workers would be A1 squared away good during the pandemic.
Exactly. Chatterbait, OnlyFans, they get their money. Don't think these porn stars aren't running it up. And honestly, at this point, she probably just uses her Instagram for branding purposes. I'm sure all her money's coming from OnlyFans, Pornhub, or the clinic that she donates a lot of her time to. But either way, Adam, for him to get and by the way, this ain't our Adam. She ain't sliding in Hollywood a lot. Adam's DM talking about sucking nothing off. This is the CEO of Instagram. And I think, when you have these accounts, I don't know if she was verified. Was she verified? Was the account verified? Well, either way, when you have that level of following, you end up becoming a partnered account or managed account. So you have a representative helping you not get in trouble or get out of trouble. But I think once you say you're going to suck off the CEO, you send a piercing message, no pun intended, that they have to keep their community safe, because then where are the boundaries? Who else are you going to suck off, whenever you feel like, having a nut?
Yeah, I feel like that story didn't hit the boys' school and everything. They like, your dad is probably pretty cool. I think he might have got some cool points from his sons with that. I'm not gonna lie. They probably went to school. It's like, we heard your dad was messing with that one. And even though it ain't true, that's a cool little rep to have with your kids right there.
But Adam, the only question for you is, why didn't you delete Lil Boosie when he went on Instagram and said that he had a grown woman? He paid her to suck his 12-year-old son off. I mean, in all fairness to her, I mean, I'm not here to advocate for what she said, but this is a problem when you're using your authority to discipline certain people and not discipline others. You know what I mean? And I personally think that Lil Boosie should have been removed from social media after he made that proclamation. It sends a very confusing message to people who are watching you and listening to you and wanting to know what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing when you're not holding people equitably accountable. This young, pretty girl who's probably depending on her social media to make her money and get her vagina banged out now is unemployed in the midst of a pandemic, while this rapper is sitting over here propagating pedophilia. What's happening, Adam? I don't know. I want to be your friend because I do not want to get deleted, but I just need to know, why is Boosie still on Instagram?
Questions we need answers to. But like I said, Adam didn't do this. Adam's wife did this. The reason that girl ain't got an account, Adam's wife was like, oh no, let me step up. Let me show you what I do as the CEO's wife. She's gone. She's never going to have an Instagram again. I promise you.
Well, Facebook's representative has given us a statement. Well, not us, but the people. They said this account violated our policies and we've now removed it. This person has no connection to executives at our company and claims that she received preferential treatment are baseless. And so the girl, the porn star, she told the Daily Beast, and she, of course, had to release her official statement, probably through a PR. I'm not really sure exactly if that's why. I was also going crazy on live yesterday, doing things I know I shouldn't have, and was just drunk and didn't care. I'm guessing that's why. I would be surprised if the other reason why was because I said in such a jokey manner. I never even really knew who the CEO of Instagram was or anything. I've never met this person before in my life. I think she took responsibility. That's more than what Boosie has. Put the girl back on Instagram, restrict her account like you've done ours for like 60 days, and then let her do her thing, okay?
She'll be fine.
All right, well, enough of soul-sucking news. There is something good out there. There is something good out there, and I really like stories like this. And, recently this week, I had people telling me why they love gagging with Jason Lee, and then they started criticizing this show because they like me to spill the tea. Let me explain something to you about evolution as a people. We have to allow ourselves to grow. I have grown at Hollywood Unlocked. I now want to use my platform for recklessness and for good, for information and inspiration and fucking somebody's bag up, okay? That's why I want to use Hollywood Unlocked. Early on, if you've been watching this show, I said I'm a cross between Oprah and Wendy Williams with a penis. So gagging with Jason Lee is Wendy, and sometimes Wendy spills over here, but Oprah shows up too. And right now it's a story that touched me personally. But there was a former gang member named Teacher of the Year in Missouri. Now, this former gang member was named Teacher of the Year by the Department of Education. His name is Darion Cockrell, and he works as a gym teacher at Crestwood Elementary. So I want to shout him out. And this is a school in St. Louis. He says that he started from the bottom as a 6 Deuce 87 Kitchen Crip gang member during his youth. And, he received the award back in October, and he spoke about his upbringing during the acceptance speech. Now, he says, I was born to a drug-addicted mother who had 2 of her 6 kids by the age of 16. And my father was murdered when I was 4, and I began my journey in and out of the foster care system not long after my 6th birthday. Now, what I love about this is that this story humanizes the fact that, yes, people that are gang members are from the inner cities. And yes, they may have chosen an environment of, this camaraderie with other guys or girls that they grew up with as a way of supporting them. But everybody has a backstory. And so the fact that they were able to honor him and give him the platform to humanize him as a gangbanger or former gangbanger and now turned teacher, I think it's amazing. And also, this was the touching part of it all, because this is, I think, where he gave his flowers to his teachers. While giving the speech, he also thanked the physical education teachers that he had when he was in school who motivated him to improve his life. He said at 10 years old, he joined the gang and hated school, but those educators took the time to get to know him. So full circle, he came back to becoming an educator and helping kids. And so people are conflicted on whether or not a person who has been a gang member or been convicted should be a teacher. And I say, who better to serve as an example to kids these days and to connect with them than somebody who's actually lived the life that a lot of these at-risk kids are living. And so I want to say to this teacher, Darion, man, shout out to you and everything that you're doing, because you are an example. And I promise you, your story is going to change some kids' life.
I think you summed that up really great, Jason, honestly.
And to the rest of you Darians out there and the Darnishas, if you are out there doing the work and have lived your life and have rehabilitated yourself, and you find yourself being in a position where you can help kids, all of us have some responsibility to give back. My book, God Must Have Forgotten About Me, was my way of doing it. And hopefully, I just bought 50 books for kids in a group home out here in Southern California. And I want all the kids out there and people who have kids at risk who want to help them, get the book. And the book's it's probably on sale at this point because I don't even know how much they're selling it for, but get the book. God Must Have Forgotten About Me. I'm going to put the link up right here and gift that book to a kid so they could change their life. I'm not a teacher, but I'm going to do what I could do. You may not be a teacher. Do what you could do. Shout out to Darion, man. You a real one.
All right, y'all, it's time for another Hollywood hookup, and I got to put y'all on to Care Of. Now, Care Of is a wellness brand that makes it easy to maintain your health goals with customized vitamin plans that helps you feel your best today and supports you long term.
And listen, I use Care to help me with my vitamin plan coming out of that surgery room because, I wanted to weight and I'm down 96 pounds and healthy in parts to Care.
You know why? Because it's all high quality. All of Care Of's products are formulated with good for you, clean ingredients that are backed by science. Now, Care Of is super transparent about the research, the sourcing, everything behind each and every one of their products.
Now, what's really important and why I chose to use Care, because I could have just went over to CVS or Walgreens and just bagged a bunch of vitamins. I wanted to make sure that while I started my fitness and health journey, that I really made sure I got the right vitamins for my needs. When you lose a significant amount of weight, you got to make sure that you have the right iron, the right calcium, the right vitamin C, and also for me on the go all the time, the right vitamin B12. And so Care Of was something that I looked to as, a source in helping me get on my way.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you how you can get on your way by taking the online quiz. So Care Of's in-depth 5-minute online quiz asks you questions about your diet, your lifestyle, and health concerns to help address your specific wellness goals. Now, Care Of's holistic online quiz is like getting a one-on-one consultation with a nutritionist, all without leaving the comfort of your home.
Yeah, and you know what? That's convenient for people like me who's used to always being on the go and now not having that issue in my life. I got more time to sit down, take 5 minutes of my day to take care of myself.
Exactly. Now, we know there might be few holiday parties this year, but the season is just hectic overall. Help manage the holiday stress in a healthy way by adding Care Of supplements to your routine. It's very important.
So I think, Damage, you should tell everybody how to take care of themselves.
I got you. Look, for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter the code UNLOCKED50. That's takecareof.com unlockeduncensored.com and enter the code unlock50.
Yep, that's how you start to take care of yourself.
And that's your Hollywood hookup.
All right, so I want to welcome back a friend to the show. He's been here before, Yahu Blackwell. Welcome back.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
There
Good
it
to
is.
see y'all.
You know, these COVID streets got us a little disconnected, not like last time where we get to be in the same room, but it's good to see you. Look like you've been in the gym. I mean, you look fit then, but you look like you've been out like some Rocky type, cutting wood down type shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The pandemic didn't stop nothing over here.
Okay, so look, I have a question. Since you've been here, I've lost 100 pounds or 96 pounds, and I grew a beard. And I don't know what beard oil to use. So since you got a beard that looks healthy, what do I need to do to keep this thing right?
So, all right, so the key is drinking greens.
Ah.
Yes,
Really?
yeah. Some people thought it's the oil. The oil just help you like, brush through it and all that stuff real good. But the key is drinking greens. If you drink greens, it make the hair grow.
Now wait a minute now, because now mines don't grow on the side right here. So you feel like if I drink some greens, this will start coming in because I'm trying to get my full Sunni in.
I'm trying to tell you. That's the key. If you it's called maximum vibrance.
Mm.
It'll get you
Okay,
right.
but damage, you can't come into the show and have a beard and not have a beard. It'd be like the beard gang. It'd be a whole different situation.
I'm trying to, I'm trying to come through with it. I'm trying to exfoliate. I've been trying to do everything to get to grow on the sides. You see, this is baby. I'm still 19
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
So,
The
look,
greens will do it. The greens will do it. It'll definitely help it grow in.
so if you've been following the show for a while, Yahoo's been here before. We all know he is a world champion boxer. He's not he's somebody you don't want to run up in the streets because he can knock you all the way out. But also what captivated us last time and a lot of the comments was that you're also a real savvy businessman. But like me, you've had many lives. You know what I mean? You've been a
Right,
police officer. You know,
right.
now you have this new venture going out. And so the first thing I think about when I think of you is just kind of your journey. And for people who may just be tuning into you, walk us through what led you to boxing in the streets of Baltimore.
I started boxing because I had seen Mike Tyson fight,
Yeah,
and
had to do it.
they had announced what he was making that night, and I was like, oh shit! So I was like, yo, that's it. I knew that was the way out, and I asked my mother, could I start, participating in combat sports?
We recently just saw Tyson come back from retirement.
Hmm.
Him and Roy Jones Jr. They got it in. You know, I
Hmm.
said it looked like my two drunk uncles up there fighting. No disrespect to the champs, but when you saw that, what did you think? Were you happy to see them both boxing, or were you like, y'all should just stay in retirement?
I'm actually good friends with Roy, so
Hey,
it was good to see them back out there because I know how it is to like you ain't did something in so long, so it was good to see them out there. They definitely old, but it was still good to see them. Just being a shade of their former self.
I mean, Roy's still fast, man. He was still moving out there.
He was, but I gave it to Tyson though. I think Tyson could have probably really hurt him if it really,
Yeah,
it took him, a full-fledged fight. Tyson
and
would have took
and
him out.
that's how I really see how fast Roy was moving because I'm like, Tyson was coming for him. Roy was,
Yeah.
But people don't realize. I mean, Yahoo, if you watch Tyson and as a boxer, knowing the skill of boxing, right? Every boxer has their thing, and
Right.
my gay ass ain't. Well, I don't know sports, but I know enough boxers and watch enough boxing to know. Like Tyson, once you let him get on the inside, if he gets you with an uppercut, it's over.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, if Tyson get up on you, you can forget about it. You can forget about it.
So what style of boxer are you? Because like I've learned Floyd, being around Floyd a lot, I've noticed he's
Mm.
a defensive fighter. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like he used to
right.
be real aggressive when he was pretty boy, and now, as
Hmm.
Mighty Man, he's been a lot more defensive. What is your style of boxing?
I'm kind of like a mix between Tyson and a little bit of Mayweather and a little bit of Lomachenko.
mm.
Okay, I don't know
So
him. Did you know him?
Yeah.
yeah, the Ukrainian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And about Floyd, you're right, man. Floyd used to beat dudes' asses. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? They just see the older version of Floyd. You know what I mean? But Floyd used to whoop people's ass. I'm talking thorough. But as he got older, and then Floyd had hand problems, um, he changed his style to being a more defensive fighter.
I like when you said you had to ask your mom permission to play contact sports, because I'm the same way with my son. I don't want to play any football, but I did
Right.
get him into boxing. What are some things
Right.
you learned, some life lessons you learned just from training in boxing?
Oh man, boxing teaches you so much, especially from a discipline aspect. You know what I mean? And it gives you so many qualities that you can just use in regular life. You know what I mean? From discipline to being responsible to staying on top of what you need to do, um, and being able to push through obstacles. Because boxing will definitely teach you how to overcome obstacles.
See, and one of the things now with this weight loss, there's the weight loss part and then there's the fitness part, right? And I look at
Right.
boxers, and I look at how you all are able to define your bodies through the training. But I ain't gonna lie, Floyd's been like, yo, you got to come by the gym. I'm a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little uncomfortable because when y'all be in the gym, not only is it hard, but y'all be talking shit, y'all be criticizing each other, and like my ego can't take it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah.
it is a really, but boxing in general, just conditioning for the sport of boxing, really is a good all full body workout, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even for your mental, like it'll build your mental toughness as well. Because the training, it's many times your body gonna tell you to quit. You know what I mean? But you gotta find that will to continue. So
Mhm.
it builds the mental fortitude. You'll be in the best shape of your life. You know what I mean? From every aspect.
Have you ever trained with someone you couldn't keep up with?
That's a good question. Not really. Not really. I normally it'll probably kick my ass the first day, but after I kind of go home and be like, all right,
Yeah.
the next day or the next day after that, I'll be ready to rock and roll.
So are you 15-0 right now? Is that your record?
Nah, I'm up to 20 fights now.
Woo! But
Yeah, I'm up to 20.
you joined the IBL at 15-0 then, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and now I'm fighting for the WBC.
you're 25 and oh, you haven't lost?
I have one defeat.
Mm,
So earlier this week, I posted a photo on my Instagram of me and Floyd because I was congratulating him for being inducted in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And
mm.
I said on my post that he's the greatest boxer to ever live. And people are in the comments saying, hold on, what about Muhammad Ali? What about
Right,
Mike
right,
Tyson? And this is even a conversation that I've had with Floyd. I won't share what he said, but if
right,
you're
right,
somebody mad, you could pretty much figure out what he said.
right, right.
Who is the best boxer ever?
I would say of this era, you gotta say Mayweather of this era. Of all time, I would definitely say Ali.
Mm,
Really?
Only not because he was the best boxer per se, but just because of what he stood for and how he fought for our people and he stood up against the government. You know what I mean?
mm.
So you got to be a bold man to do that. And but if we're talking of this era, you got to go Floyd because Floyd is the GOAT.
But isn't it based on the person you're asking's idea or ideal of what the best boxer means? Because like some are gonna say Ali stood for social issues, whereas maybe Floyd hasn't as much. Floyd is 50-0, never been knocked out, never lost, and arguably has probably made more money than all of them. But doesn't it depend on like what the person's ideal of what a greatest boxer would mean?
I agree. And then here's a question I always ask people: is you got to ask yourself, well, who would you rather be?
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's a good way to kind of measure it. Like, would you rather be this guy or would you rather be Mayweather? You know what I mean? If you had to switch identities. And most people would say Mayweather because he has a what we call a triple crown. And what that means is he made the money, he made his legacy, and he left the sport with all five senses still intact.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
You know what
true.
I mean? So which is which is outstanding. And to be undefeated, I think like 11 world titles or something crazy like that. Like you can't take nothing away from Floyd.
He has a theater at his house with all the belts, and they all lay in front of the screen. And one day I snuck in there. I don't even think I told him this. I snuck in one day, and I was putting the belts around my waist. You know what I mean? I felt real champion, like, you know. But then I put him down real quick so I didn't get my ass kicked. But yeah, it is amazing to see what, athletics does for so many of our people. You know what I mean? You have people now coming up in the game like Gervonta Davis. He's from where you're from. And I
Right.
look at him and I'm like, yo, you remind me so much of Mike Tyson. And when you talk to him personally, he's such a cool guy. But then
He
he's
is.
always getting into shit. And do you
Mhm.
think do you think that that conversation of, hey, this is what you really need to do in terms of like staying focused, staying on track, not allowing yourself to get caught up in this shit that the streets used to,
Right.
is that
Right.
conversation missing in mentoring these young boxers nowadays?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely needed because you go from just a regular guy, and all of a sudden you making a shitload of money and women and fame and all of that stuff. So you definitely need somebody that's going to tell you like, look, man, this is what you need to be doing. This could be here today and gone tomorrow type thing.
Mhm.
So it's definitely one of them things like, the boxers need that pep talk for sure.
Yeah. On a mental standpoint, I want to pick your brain about. You said you have one defeat. What is
Mhm.
it like to be undefeated for so long and then have that one defeat? Because I can imagine for myself, it was me. It would be hard for me to bounce back because I probably never expecting to lose. Like, was that
Right.
a shot to your ego or anything? What's that process when you do suffer that first defeat?
Well, my loss didn't come from the guy beat me. I had injured my hand
Mm.
and I wasn't able to continue because of the hand injury. But it's depressing though. You know what I'm saying? You go home and really question everything. Like, dang, is this for me? Should I keep fighting? This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But eventually, you overcome it and you use it as fuel to just get better. And the loss isn't a bad thing as long as you learn from it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So next time around, like, okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to tighten up on this. I need to tighten up on that.
Well, damage, it's really bad if you know the boxer, because I ain't gonna lie. When Floyd fought Maidana for the second time, that third round, right before he went out, he got clipped right on the side
Yeah,
of the chin, and you
yeah,
up close, and you see that sweat fly off their head. You like the after party gonna be real fucking different this fight. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because somebody like when you're fighting, I'm sure depending on who you're fighting, fans will show up for you or they're gonna show up for the other person. And 9 times out of 10 with Floyd, it was always people showing up to see him lose. And so
Right.
the room is like begging you to get knocked the fuck out.
Mhm.
And then when you get hit that one good hit, you like, oh shit, let's all just walk, let's go get a soda and act like we didn't see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
No,
Facts. Facts.
no, you.
McDonough, that fight was scary. That fight was scary. I know the punch that you're talking about.
But I will say, out of all athletes, where I have a great deal of respect for boxers and for people that do what you do, is that to get in that square circle and have the courage to know that the person ain't trying to run past you and slam a ball in a hole. The person ain't trying to run past you and put a ball on the grass. They trying to knock you the fuck out. And
Correct.
to have that endurance and that mental strength to stay disciplined and focused and just study the person's body and how they're going to throw it at you really does take a certain level of discipline that has to be
It
respected.
does. The part that's always, like that it's like a reality check is like right. So when you're signing the fight contract, it says on the fight contract, in the event tonight you are killed
Damn.
or terminally injured, you waiving all your rights and this and this and this. So like you said, it just takes a lot of courage to sign your name on that dotted line and then go get in that ring, no matter what level it's on.
I always been curious. How much does the crowd play into the boxing experience? Because I know what it does for basketball and football, but when it comes to boxing, are y'all even hearing the crowd? Because I know people are screaming, cursing. You
Yeah.
know, do y'all even hear that?
That's a good question. In the beginning you do. So like while you're doing your ring walk, but once you get into the fight itself and y'all get to scrapping, yo, you don't even hear the people anymore. You know what I mean? It's like you so zoned into the fighter and who you're fighting and what you're trying to do, you don't even hear the people anymore.
Mm.
It's almost like it's just you and him in a room.
And it's so loud in there, and it's so interesting. I at the Conor McGregor fight, I had a press credential, but Floyd
Hmm.
is my friend, so I'm sitting in the press corps, and I'm like, kick that motherfucker's ass. They're like, you're not supposed to be rooting for anybody. I'm like, well, nigga, it is what it is. But I just have so much respect for what you do because I know the discipline it takes, and I know the hard work and the dedication to becoming the best. You don't become a champion, and you don't, have as much success as somebody like you has unless you are that disciplined. Now, let me ask you about, because I know your mother was a healthcare worker, and we're living in the midst of a pandemic, and she unfortunately has passed away. Sorry about
Right.
that.
Thank you,
And
sir.
now there are a lot of healthcare workers with families and loved ones like you and like your mother who are on the front line in the middle of probably the most chaotic thing we've seen in our lifetime. When you think about the healthcare workers, do you think about your mom, and what thoughts go through your head?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I can't imagine what they're going through, and through this pandemic, and it's unfortunate, what's happening to everybody. And if my mother was here right now, I definitely would not want her in that field because I just know how rough it is right now. But just seeing that what everybody's going through, it definitely makes me think about her. And if she was still alive, she would be playing a huge part in what's going on right now.
So when your relationship with her, did that play any part in who, because you seem like a very well put together guy, and I'm talking to the person, not the boxer. Did she play a part in who you turned into as a man?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because my pops weren't around, so mom's was everything. You know what I mean? I think her greatest investment was me and my brother.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So she wasn't able to accomplish certain things, or so she kind of poured everything into me and my brother.
Mm. So, going back to your early career as a police officer, in the midst of the pandemic, we've also seen the murder of George Floyd and a lot of black men at the hands of unarmed black men at the hands of white police officers. As a police officer, did you ever encounter situations where police officers were a little too aggressive with people of color, or did you feel that that was the environment, or do you think we're not giving police officers a fair chance?
I think that the police department definitely needs a wake up call for sure. You know what I mean? What they're doing to the people is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I definitely support the cry out that we're putting out, to end police brutality and to end the injustice that they're doing to the people, because a lot of cops are just abusing their power, in my opinion.
As a black man who was a police officer, do you believe that more black people should become police officers to change it on the inside, or is that even possible?
I think you know what, that's a good question. I think we should.
Mm.
I think we should get involved with everything we can get involved with, from politics to police to whatever. I think we should get involved with everything, and then control it from the inside out.
That's the smart way.
Did you leave the police department to follow to pursue your passion for boxing? Like, what was that transition?
I did. When I first got offered a deal to box full time, at first I was scared because I was like, man, I just got this job. I ain't trying to, what I'm saying? I was like, oh, my mother gonna kill me when she found out I left. You know what I'm saying? My mother was so proud. So, but yeah, I did, and it turned out for the best.
I wanted to know, that transition. I know it's probably like a scary one. What was that first fight like? Was it? Did it feel like a release of energy? Were you nervous?
Yeah, you're definitely nervous. I don't care who it is. Floyd, it don't matter. You're always nervous because you're walking into the unknown. You know what I mean? You know you prepared, you know you trained, you know you did everything you were supposed to do, but it's still that possibility of, I could get hurt tonight, or he could throw a punch that I just didn't see, or a punch that I just mistimed or misjudged. You know what I mean? It's always that possibility, and that's what always makes the fight scary, because you're walking into the unknown.
When Victor Ortiz kissed Floyd and Floyd hit him right at the bell and knocked his ass out and said, "Hey, you're supposed to protect yourself at all times."
Right.
Part of me was like, "Yo, that was some chicken shit." But then the other part of me was like, that's the perfection of being a champion and knowing the sport and knowing that timing and knowing, you know what I mean? Like, you're not in there as friends as much as you are being, respectable.
Right.
When a person hits you, what makes you not go, "Yo, I'm about to fuck you up," and then just stop you and just start swinging.
Right. You got it, because it's almost like you got to keep your cool, because like, it's so many factors going on. You're saying to yourself, okay, I got a certain amount of energy. I can't burn all of that out. You know what I mean? So you you're trying to gauge how much energy you have, how hard you could fight through the rounds without gassing out. Then you don't want to get clipped on the way in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so many factors that you're thinking about. You're like, damn,
No. You don't want to get Nate Robinson.
you don't want to get Nate
I was
Robinson.
just about to bring up Nate. I want to know, man, like, if you as his trainer, what is some advice you would have gave to Nate? Because he was just running in there. As a person that, I'm not a boxer, if I was to go in the ring, what are some simple things I should be doing to make sure I don't get Nate Robinson?
Making sure there's a pillow nearby.
Yes. Yeah, it was so bad, yo. It was so bad. Cause crazy thing is, I had looked at some of his training. I told my brother before the fight, I said, "Yo, I don't think he gonna make it."
So you seen it before it happened. You seen this happening.
I seen it coming.
So you can see because you know the skill. You could see the tape and go, "Nah, that ain't going."
I was like, he ain't gonna make it. I told my brother, I said, "Yo, I got a good feeling Nate ain't gonna make it." So, what Nate got to do is he got to start from the beginning again. You know what I'm saying? He got to get back. He got to get back and get in that gym and work on his craft. He got to relax, because he was just running in.
We didn't see the nigga relax. We need to see the nigga.
He was acting. He was running. He was fast. We gotta give him the props where it's at. He was very fast.
He was. He was trying to get that. I don't know where he thought he was at. Like, he was trying to do the basketball mixed with a little bit of boxing. I was like,
yeah,
nah, yo, nah, man, that ain't gonna get it done.
Now, you know what he reminds me of? I don't know if you remember the fight with Mike Tyson and Spinks back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I do.
That was a pretty quick situation like that one.
I do. I knew Jake was gonna put them together. Even when I seen him just practicing, I said, "Yo," I was like, "Why does team do this to that man? Put that man in this fight?" But I mean, he thought he could do it, so I still give hats off to him for making the attempt. But he gotta get in that gym.
But see, in boxing, you can't really underestimate a guy, because I'll tell you, I said I just lost 96 pounds. I was 96 pounds heavier sitting ringside at the Anthony Joshua fight with that guy, the heavy set Mexican guy, and when and by the second round, I was looking at the team Joshua like, we're not gonna make it to the club tonight.
I called that fight too. Matter of fact, I was cooking on the grill, and I was like, "Yo, don't be surprised if Andy get him." And everybody was like, "Nah, yo, Andy fat, yo, he out of shape." I said, but Andy has skills. Andy got him.
Yo, Andy had fat guys like me walking out at the concession like, "What?" I mean, he gave us all a lot of confidence. But with Anthony, but that goes back to the discipline. He's since come back and beat him, and he just won another fight recently. But that discipline. He was training in Miami, out of his element. He was fucking around with them girls, having sex and shit right before the fight. Like, if you want to be a world champion, you have to be able and I'm sure you have had a lot of sacrifices, right, to be able to stay on your A game.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. Like while everybody's partying and hanging out and doing whatever, you gotta go to the gym. It has to be a part of your lifestyle. I have friends who come to me and they like, yo, I'm trying to get into boxing, and I explain it to them like, man, look, like you're gonna have to do a lot of sacrificing. While your homeboys is hanging out, you gotta be working out. It has to be a lifestyle thing. It has to be a part of your life every day. It's almost like a relationship.
When it comes to that lifestyle, right? What's
Mhm.
something that you have to cut out right before a fight that really hurts you the most? You like, oh, I don't want to stop eating this ice cream, or what's that
Right.
one thing where it's like, I got to give this
Pussy,
up before the fight?
Yeah.
pussy,
You
pussy,
definitely, you
pussy.
definitely can't be fucking.
Mm-mm.
That's that's a no. You know what I'm saying?
What does
And
that do? Why?
because it makes your legs weak, and
Oh,
then some people think that's like a myth, but it's really true.
You didn't see Anthony Joshua's knees shaking
I,
like he was
said
walking
that-
down an alley?
I said, yo, he must have got some ass or something before the fight because like round two, he was out of it. You know what I'm saying?
It was round two. Big Anthony Joshua is a big boy. Them
yeah,
legs,
that's a big dude.
them, them legs were shaking the way mine would if I was in the ring with Yahu, Floyd, Mike, or you. Damaged. It was bad.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta cut that out. That's for sure. Like you gotta give yourself at least like 5 days, 6 days. You know what I mean? So your legs can be strong. Also, it'll drain your like your stamina too. Like you'll feel just more tired than usual. You know what I mean? So some people think it's a myth, but it's really a thing. And you just probably gotta just cut back on like you can't indulge in certain foods that you want, and you can't eat cheesecake and pizza and all that stuff. So you kind of want to make sure you're eating kind of clean leading up.
So now earlier when we were talking about the precision that it takes in a ring to make sure you don't get knocked out, you said basically you got to keep it cool. And now you're keeping it cool with Rita's Italian Ice. And I don't know what that is. And we had a big old debate about what it is. We Googled it.
Yeah,
I saw what it is. How would you
yeah.
describe Rita's Italian Ice?
Because I'm from Philly, bro, so I was trying to
Okay,
put them on.
okay. Yes,
No, he
Rita.
was not trying to put you on.
I
No, we're not
was.
gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. I said, damage. What is Rita's Italian Ice? She was like, nope, can't really explain it. I was like, what the but I know you're getting into the business and franchising it now. So
Right.
what explain it. What is Rita's Italian Ice?
Rita's is that crack. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like ice cream at its finest, Jason. You feel me?
uh,
Good flavor to it. Like you could tell this is made out of some good shit.
and
And
does it
Jason, you Italian, man, so you're supposed to know what Italian ice is.
so if you ask somebody what orange chicken is, they're supposed to know what it is because they're Chinese. What kind of shit is
I'm gonna be real with you, Jason. Yeah,
that?
I know orange chicken. I go to Trader Joe's get the orange sauce.
But I know when I mentioned that you were getting ready to get into this business and franchise this, Damage was like, "Oh, that shit fire! Everybody love that." And I'm like, "Damn, I'm mad that I haven't now. I don't eat ice cream now, but I'm mad that I haven't had the chance to try it." So you're opening this up in Baltimore?
Yeah. My location opens up this March coming up.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm at the Baltimore Rotunda.
That's
So
amazing.
Why
it's
did
like an attraction area in Baltimore.
why did you decide that you wanted to get into that? Is that just more of like that's what you love it, and so why not own what you love?
Well, I originally was going to do Auntie Anne's, and then I was going to do like some trucking, like get into the trucking business. But the day my mother died, she asked for Rita's.
Mm.
Mm.
It was like one of her last requests. I asked, I said, what do you want? She said, I want cotton candy Rita's. And
Damn.
that was kind of like the driving force. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do Rita's.
And that's what I
It's
love about you as a businessman because I know you beat me to Forbes. You're in Forbes, and you talk about not wanting to just be the richest athlete, but also to be a businessman. Why is that important to you?
because I want to pass something down. When I have kids and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I used to always like look at like Will Smith and all that. You know what I mean? I used to always be like, yo, that's I used to always tell my mother like, that's my father. And,
Me too,
and
man.
it wasn't because he was a celebrity, but I just looked at the opportunity that his children had, because of, the things he did. And I was like, man, I want to be like that. I want to be able to pass something down and, make it a little easier for my kids.
So earlier I said that you look like you've been training, and you have a fight coming up in January on January 8th in Texas. So that's
That's right.
probably why you look like you're ready to get in the ring today. Tell me about that
Oh
fight.
yeah.
Who you're
Oh yeah,
fighting?
yeah. Yeah. They're getting the opponent situated now, but the fight is definitely happening. January 8th, I'm fighting in Houston. And this fight is the lead up fight to my championship fight with the WBC in February.
And that's where you're fighting Sergio Ramirez. But how, you're fighting him because what he holds the belt. Why wouldn't you know who you're fighting now? How does that work?
So when we're trying to get a fight in between, the promoter has to like go through a list of fighters and ask them, do they want the fight? So you're gonna get some guys they're gonna say no. You're gonna get some guys that's like, yeah. Then you gotta get some guys, they're gonna want. You gotta negotiate the money and all of that stuff. But eventually they will, find somebody that'll take the fight. And then after that, yeah, I'm fighting Sergio Ramirez. The belt was vacant,
Mm.
so the WBC contacted me and contacted Sergio, asked us did we want to, fight for the vacancy, and I took the fight.
Well, who left it vacant? Was that one of Floyd's belts?
Now it was vacant. I don't know who had it prior. I'm not sure,
Mm.
but
He know who he like. I'm about to have it next. Let me tell you that.
yeah, I jumped on it because the WBC is the most prestigious sanctioning body in all of boxing. So when I had the opportunity, I was like, oh, I got to take it.
Okay, and so now I know you've been vocal about the WBC splitting up the heavyweight belts, right? I mean, they've split up into two divisions, or what did they do?
Yeah, they're splitting the heavyweight division up into two divisions. So it'd be like a heavyweight and kind of like a super heavyweight,
Mm.
which I think is necessary
Yeah.
because Joshua, them dudes is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like
Huge.
huge. Tyson Fury, the dude is like 7 foot 280. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's so the size is what would make them the height and the weight, or is it the height and weight that would make them a super heavyweight?
Yeah, the weight. So what the WBC is trying to do is make heavyweight from 200 to 220, and then anything over 220 would be considered as like a super heavyweight,
That makes sense.
which should be fair because you can have a heavyweight. Let's say he's 205 pounds, and he's fighting Fury, who's 280.
7
He
feet.
can't he can't win. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's skillfully better than Fury,
I,
Fury
I
has
mean, you had the fat guy beat up Joshua though.
that is true. That is true. That is true. It just makes the fight so much tougher when you're fighting a guy that's 60 pounds heavier than you. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, and we are the fans. We don't want to see a slaughter fight. You don't want to see somebody
Right.
just get mopped in the ring. Like nobody wants to
Yeah.
go and watch that.
Yeah.
I do.
That's he's too big. You know what I mean? It's one of them things where like you hitting this guy and he's just taking it because he's 70 pounds heavier. But when he hits you,
That shit hurt you. Be like,
you know what I mean? He fuck you up because he got almost 100 pounds on you.
all right, so after this fight in January 8th in Houston, Texas, then you fight in Sergio Ramirez, you get the belt. What are you looking forward to in 2021 and 2022 in terms of who else you'll be fighting besides COVID?
I want to fight Macaboo.
Mm.
I can't think of his first name. He is like a foreign name, but I want to fight Macaboo. Maybe end of 2021.
Okay.
So is
Yeah.
boxing different now though with COVID? Like what are they doing leading up to? I know I'm sure you gotta do a lot of testing, but what is the environment gonna be like? Because it's gonna be different, not really. Well, is Texas open? So there'll be fans there, right?
Yeah, Texas is kind of doing. That's why we kind of picked Texas because they're allowing the crowd and you got fans there and all of that good stuff. I just hope we can get back to normal because
I mean, Texas and Atlanta is normal right now. I mean,
yeah, facts. You can go to Atlanta, COVID ain't even there. You know what I'm saying?
oh, they were. I had a friend of mine was at the strip club the other day, and I'm gonna put her name out there, Sky from Black Ink. Her ass was at the club, and it was like strippers in the background, bottle girls, everybody was sipping. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah,
Anything.
one of my homeboys, he boxed out of Atlanta, and he had like posted his fight, and it was like a packed arena in there. Everybody was partying, having a good time, and they holding the cup up. Like I'm like, yo, what is going on?
But you're gonna be safe though. You're gonna make sure that you're safe, right? And you get
Yeah,
in
absolutely,
there. Okay. All right.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
so we got Rita's Italian Ice. We got you knocking people out in the ring. We got you potentially conditioning Nate Robinson for his comeback moment. What other
Right.
what other business endeavors as a businessman entrepreneur are you looking forward to in the future?
I'm trying to dive into some real estate now. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's my next move. Looking into commercial real estate.
I mean, that's smart because you're always gonna have money.
Yeah, yeah, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. I tell people all the time, like, yo, you gotta get with the commercial real estate. So I'm trying to look into that and land, all those kind of things.
I just
That's
think
dope.
more black people should really understand like you make money to invest and make more money. You don't make money to spend money, you know?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's a
For
word.
sure. And I had to learn that, you know what I mean? Because when I first started making money, I was doing it, you know what I'm saying? I had jewelry, this, shorties, you know what I'm saying? I was doing it. So but I look back on it, I was like, damn, I had looked back and I was like, I ain't got nothing to show for all the money that I spent having a good
Mm.
time.
I mean,
And that's,
sitting up
and
there,
that's
you,
what
you be
I'm
if
doing.
you ain't smart, you be sitting up there looking like Adrian Broner. I mean, he was in court
Yeah.
telling the judge he didn't have no money, and I don't know why you laughing, damage. I'm keeping it 1,000. Like if you
I'm
don't,
laughing because I remember that video. He was rubbing his pockets. He like, Judge. I mean, I got friends with money. It was like, bro.
but as an
Yeah.
athlete, don't you always think about that? Like you don't want to be on top and then lose it all, right? Because then it all meant
Right.
nothing.
That's right. That's right. I've seen guys who, was doing a thing, man, and then next thing you know, they back to square one with nothing. You know what I mean? I used to see, I forgot what boxer it was, but he was like a legendary champion, and then somebody saw him somewhere. He was like a janitor,
Hey, man.
and I was just like, yo, it can't be me. You know what I mean? It cannot be me.
So all the women
Housekeeping plays good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, not better than world champion boxer, but
Jason, let me tell you this. If it's all over today, I'm going to be a janitor too. Just letting you know. That's the first thing I'm going to do. They pay all right.
let me be clear. For 10 years before entertainment, I represented healthcare workers, and a lot of them were janitors. And so
Mhm.
I'll go back to negotiating their contracts. I have no problem with that. I have a lot of respect for janitors because I'm gonna tell you, I don't have the patience for cleaning up other people's shit. That's why I
Right.
got out of the union. You know what I mean? But let me say, to all the women who are watching and saying, "Oh my God, that's a melanin king. Is he single? I ain't worried if he's not. I'm still ready to slide in his DMs." Are you single, dating, open to dating? What's going on?
Yeah. I got somebody in my life. And hopefully I'm trying to do the family thing,
Right.
I'm trying to be domesticated.
That's
Okay,
right.
Trying to
cool.
be domesticated.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. So
we put up your Instagram. They're gonna still slide in your DM anyway. People don't care these days. That's great. This is great. All right. So where can people see the fight on January 8th?
um I don't have any links to it yet, but I'm gonna definitely have some soon, and I'll shoot it out to everybody to where they can watch it at. And I know I'm gonna definitely post it,
Yeah.
closer to the fight. So Um, and I know that the fight for the WBC will be televised. We don't know who's going to pick it up yet, but closer to that, we'll know.
Well, listen, we've had your Instagram handle up throughout the whole show, so people will follow you, and hopefully they stay locked into what you're doing. And if I ever get to Baltimore, I'm gonna have to try some Rita's Italian.
Really?
I ain't gonna eat the
Hey,
whole
I
thing.
got
This
you.
weight off me, but I'm gonna come by and support.
Yeah, it's official. It's official. We even got ice cream for dogs.
It is.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well, then
yeah.
you could feed that to Damage the way out here treating all these women. Nah, Damage is a stand-up guy. I'm just talking shit. All right, well, look, thank you for coming on the show, bro. Let's stay connected, and good luck on the 8th, and good luck with the WBC title, because I've held one of them belts. They pretty damn impressive. I just didn't get to take
Oh
mine
yeah.
home.
Yeah, the WBC, where it's that, man, the WBC. So yeah, this one's for the regional portion of it, and I'm gonna just keep working my way up.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's stay connected and take care.
All right, you too, Jason, you too, Damage.
All right, we out of here. Peace.
All right.
All right, look, that was a great show, and make sure you keep coming back, because we got all types of amazing interviews and topics that are gonna make you go crazy.
That's right. That means like, subscribe, do everything you need to do to make sure you stay up to date with what we got going on.
And ladies, stay tuned in, because you know I have your back.
And listen, make sure that you're commenting below, because even though I say I don't read it on the show, that's all I do when it's over. Peace.
Mm-hmm.